light going. Fix my chat filter so that people can actually say something. I am just looking to chill today. Do something fun, simple, maybe a little bit silly. And I think I'm leaning toward toward the back, which I might have to do some hard pushing here. Let's see. This is the one I was leaning toward, which we're just doing a pick and color today, which is always kind of fun. It's where I just grab a random color and put it somewhere on the page. And they've always done well for me. I've always had fun doing them. So, figure why not? We don't have anything going at the moment. So, we are not going to try and make this look realistic because I've never seen a cat that is separated out like a stained glass window. So, we're kind of getting the vibe of a stained glass window of a cat. And we're just going to have fun with color. Because we can. I had a super crazy stressful weekend, so I don't want to do anything too stress-inducing today. I'm not looking to try and do perfection or anything like that. We're just going to relax and color because we can. There we go. Always feel best once I get the first color on the page. And of course, the first color I grabbed happened to be blue, which makes it even better because it is my favorite color. Has been for about as long as I can remember. Trying to decide if this should also be that blue. Since it's kind of the same shape and it's kind of on its own. Hello, Parker Johnson. How we doing today? All right, let's see. Apparently our next color is going to be orange. All right, we can work with that. I'm doing pretty well. I'm relaxing after a really insane weekend, so. Hello. Looks like Angie Higginbottoms. Hopefully I didn't mispronounce anything too terribly there. How we doing today? I work weekends and I keep exotic animals, and the two things mixed together sometimes makes for very, very chaotic weekends. So, nice little bit of coloring on a Monday is not a terrible thing. It's just nice to just relax and vibe, basically, is the goal today. And I'm kind of loving that, but I feel like we need more of this color. Let's see. I think this down here will actually coincide with it nicely. There we go. I got lessons this weekend that I would really hope I never have to learn again, and I hope that I never have to use the knowledge that I learned this weekend again. And that is clearing the airway in a chinchilla that decided to just forget that they have teeth and throw their treat straight down their throat. The chinchilla in question is absolutely fine now. He just gave me a minor heart attack. But yeah, he scared me worse than I think I've ever really been scared by an animal. Let's see. Interesting. I think we kind of have to do the nose this color because why not? If we, I really, really don't want to have to sharpen the wax coating off of this, so you got to have the occasional reasonably realistic spot, right? There we go. So, as I was saying, my chinchilla decided to scare me half to death, so I got 0 sleep on Friday night and then worked an 8-hour shift on Saturday. That made for a very interesting day. Don't recommend it. Not fun. I am, however, absolutely thrilled that my chinchilla is perfectly fine. Once we got him all healthy and everything, it was just a few hours of giving him gas medicine every so often to make sure that he didn't swallow too much air, because gas for chinchillas can be really dangerous. So now he just wants all of the treats and thinks he should get spoiled more, but that's pretty much just normal chinchilla behavior. If you've ever been around them, you know. If you haven't, they are not nearly as easy to keep as certain people online like to make them seem. I love mine and I wouldn't take anything for them, but once in a while they definitely make you question your sanity a little bit. And there is no theme to this. There is no rhyme or reason, only vibes, just so you know. This guy looks like a very tribal Maine Coon, so that's what we're making him. No, I do not know what just made me decide that that particular circle needed to be this shade of green. But I saw something I wanted to kind of... There it is. I have a lot of colored pencils, and the goal is not to repeat anything. So each time I pull one of my pencils, I'm literally just sticking it aside here so that we don't reuse it. And we're going to see how many colors we end up with by the end of this. Because we can. I'm always kind of curious to see how many colors we end up using. Oh, I think this will look pretty in that green. And if I take off for the door for a second at any point, please don't take me too personally. I have a grocery order that's on its way to my house. I'm trying to kind of match these up. So that he's, even though he's not sitting in a way that would be particularly, what's the word? Wow, my brain just completely lost that word. trying to make him reasonably even though he's not sitting in a way that is even remotely. Ooh, I like that purple. So my Q&A today wants to know if we like pizza with pineapple. I will never know. I will never know if I like pineapple on my pizza because I am severely allergic to pineapple. I don't click those anymore. I have learned that lesson. But it is kind of neat to see what they ask from one given day to another. Boy, that purple just brightened things up really quick, didn't it? Let's see. I'm just enjoying the randomness of this. Something I always enjoy. Thank you, Iris Coronado. This is actually a Dollar General coloring book, which is wild. I paid a whole lot for it. I love these guys. I get them every time they start putting new ones out. I will pick one up. I don't want to do another purple just yet. That's an interesting color. They called it chrome yellow. Don't know that those two words match all that much, but let's see what chrome yellow looks like, shall we? I think we'll use this for the eyes. Oh, that was a good choice. Thank you so much for that. Today we're just playing a game of pick up a pencil and see what color it is and stick it somewhere on the page. I love doing these. I do them periodically. I think that's going to be one case of that little bitty bit of color going down from that one. Less exciting color, but that's okay. We can't all be super bright and cheerful. We need a few little spots of less vibrant tones. Keeps things kind of even. I love doing this, and I love seeing what it just kind of turns out to when I don't plan it out. I just start coloring. It's a great way to relax. If you ever have stuff like this where it's not, the goal of the picture is obviously not to make it look like, in this case, a realistic cat. Just doing the grab a pencil and throw it on the page theory it's really a lot of fun. And it's very, very, very relaxing. So there's no expectations. There's no plan or thought to what it's going to look like in the long run. It just kind of takes its own form, which is a neat concept in any sort of art. But when you've had a lot of stress in a couple of days and you just really need to decompress, this is something I highly recommend doing. You don't necessarily have to do it on camera. This is just a very large cat, sort of. It's the most tribal, like, stained glass looking cat I've ever seen, but I'm down for it. I am definitely here for the stained glass kitty. I enjoy doing these lives in the middle of my day. It gives me a nice break from all of the chores and stuff that come with caring for as many animals as I do. So I think that is enough of that. Ooh. And some good old-fashioned red. Where do we want to put the red? I can definitely see the lion theory. It looks to me like a Maine Coon cat, which they have the broader features and a whole lot of fur. But that's kind of the fun of this type of picture is it can really be whatever you feel like kind of putting to it because it is so abstract that there's not really any this must be this thing to it. It's a lot of why I chose this book and this picture for today is just it's got just that vibe to it that fits what I'm trying to focus on today, which is just relaxing and enjoying the process. Do we have a match to that anywhere else? No. Okay. I am also very bad about, like, I'll focus in on one area and forget the whole rest of the picture if I don't make myself stop and kind of branch it out a little bit. And then I find myself in a situation where all of the color is in one spot and I still kind of need to do the rest of it. Okay, I will apparently grab 6 different pencils at once. This one looks like I sharpened it with a knife for some reason, but okay. You may hear my birds. They have been in rare form today. They sound like they're getting ready to gear up to throw another screaming fit on me. I'm hoping not, but it has happened in the past and it'll happen again in the future, so. Right now we're doing kisses, which I can live with. This is a very odd color, isn't it? It's almost similar to this one, with just a little bit more of a brown to it. And I think these little stripes are all I am going to do in this color because I don't overly love it, but I didn't want to leave it out, so. She's coming together, isn't she? Nice bit of green here. This is a rare one that actually seems to be very well named because this is actually called a jade green. And it's almost precise color to some of the jade figures that I've got. So that works. It does not feel like we've been at this for 20 minutes. I've been just kind of vibing with it, I guess, which is not a terrible thing. So now my Q&A pop-up wants to know if you're an introvert or an extrovert. I am personally very, very much an introvert. Let's see. I think that might be enough of that green, but at the same time, I kind of want just a little bit more because I do like it. So I'll tie it in over here. Let's actually... I have a ridiculous amount of colored pencils around me, just so you know. Excuse me. Hello, David Garcia. How are we doing today? So, I am curious if anybody who's watching happens to know. Hello, Dave. I am well. I am curious why so many people have been popping in to my lives, and I've seen them in others, and just pop up with random, like, single word things, like you said this, and somebody else said them earlier. Is that more of a, like, a trend thing, or is it just checking to see if the chat actually works? I'm just curious. There's no judgment in it whatsoever. No, my birds have opinions. They have decided to enter the chat themselves. All right, we now have a polka dotted kitty. I think we're going to do these over here. And since this seems to be just a random thing. Thank you, thank you. Hello, Zayden. How we doing? Coloring is an excellent hobby. I am always going to be a fan. Ooh, that's a pretty color. Please pardon the screaming birds in the background. That is just how my life works. My birds are either silent or screaming. There is no in between. Right now they're mad because they hear me talking, but I'm not paying attention to them. Ooh, I like that there. I think we're going to actually go ahead and do this section here. Hello, Abby. How we doing today? Trying to decide what else. I think that'll be good for these. And I think I'll have to put something bright in the circles themselves. just to kind of brighten this area up a little bit. But my favorite animal would be hard to say. I personally keep exotics and cats. I have a lot of cats, but I don't know that I could pick one personal favorite. As other than my birds, I do very much adore my chinchillas. How about you? What would you say your favorite animal is? This one's going to be kind of a pinky red, I think. So we're going to go here with it. I have, as far as my cats, I have a black cat named Damos who is also blind. I have a tortie named Miss Kitty and a tortie named Mistra. And then I have a very small, young female black cat named Freya, and a very large black cat named Bagheera. And then there's my two orange boys, who are Odin and Apollo. And that is all of my cats, I think. I don't think I missed anybody. As I said, I have a lot of cats. Thank you, thank you. I have a lot of different kinds of content, depending on what you're looking for. Well, that's always fun. I've been around for a hot minute. A lot of times you might have popped up for something different and not realized it. And if you hear barking or growling, that is my dog dreaming. He's in his bed right beside me. And he sleep talks a lot, actually. So I haven't been doing lives a whole lot for very long, a couple of months. But, well, I guess it's been longer. I started doing this September of last year, maybe a little earlier. I have lost track at this point. But I also do a lot of, I do yard art, and I post an insane amount about my kittens, which were completely unplanned. I was not planning on having any more cats after my senior girl passed. Cat distribution system had different plans. It happens. I can't just not take care of an animal in need. That's just not who I am. And I have my chinchillas, which I post about occasionally, but not too often. Mostly they are nocturnal, so they sleep during the day. I hadn't really thought about how long I've been doing this. It's only been fairly recent that my channel's really kind of started taking off. Mostly I've been posting things more for myself and a few friends that bugged me to start posting my yard art. And then obviously the critters. Excuse me. I don't know so much on a doll thing. I'd have to go back through my live streams. Pretty pretty much everything I do is in books of one form or another. But I have a whole lot of coloring books. Like, it's a little bit insane because I'm forever picking up new ones. But I like them, and they bring me joy, and they don't hurt anybody else. So that always helps. Thank you. So this is not a drawing that I've done. It is a coloring book, but I do enjoy the coloring aspect. Let's see. Whoop. Kind of a dandelion color. What do they call it? Custard. Okay. Interesting. I definitely encourage everybody to color at least part of the time. I'm not 100% certain why you wanted to share that you are eating meat, but honestly, if it brings you joy and it's not hurting anybody else, that is always a good thing. That turned out to be just a really nice shade of yellow. Kind of a dark yellow, but still kind of adds a little bit of pop, doesn't it? Let's get some down here on the feet. I guess this would be more the legs than the feet, wouldn't it? I have a feeling we might be at this for a while. I'm sitting here looking, it's been 30 minutes and we have a lot of white left on here, don't we? I am going to do a whole big section of this because I really like this color. It's just nice and bright and vibrant and warm, which I am never going to be against that. And it just pops the whole thing up just a little bit, doesn't it? If you were wondering, my stack of pencils that we've used so far has gotten a little bit crazy already. So that's where we're at so far. That's all of the colors we've done. And we are not even close to getting to all of the pencils that I own. My problem with coloring books and colored pencils alike is I see it, I like it, I buy it, and then I have to figure out what to do with it. Don't think I'm done with that just yet. There we go. We're slowly getting there. She's starting to get just a bit of color to her. And we may leave some spots white. Not because we don't feel like coloring them, but because sometimes things will fit into the story just a little bit better in the white than it would in another color. What am I going to name the cat? I hadn't really thought about giving it a name, but you can give it one as long as it's clean, if you'd like. It's never a bad idea. It's definitely a colorful thing, isn't he? Oh, excuse me. Well, I guess the coloring is doing the job of relaxing me that I was needing it to do. There we go. Quite a colorful cat, definitely. Or is that what you decided it needed to be named? Let's see. I had to stop that yawning. In my defense, this is kind of like my Saturday. So. And yes, I could make these all different colors, these sections. No, I do not want to. I can't color all afternoon. I try not to go over an hour or so, just because I do have a lot of things I still have to get done. I have actually gotten a lot done already today, though, which is never a bad thing. Let's see. I think we're also going to do this area right back here, just because we can. I'm trying to get enough of each color onto it that it makes sense. I don't know if that makes any sense whatsoever, but I do apologize. And I had to sit down for just a second because my allergies decided to go silly through my eye a little bit. It's very hard to see what you're doing when your eye decides to start watering like crazy. I love a good yellow. He is definitely taking shape, isn't he? Let's see. Hello, Tallulah Tillery. This is the coloring I will absolutely take credit for. The art, it is a coloring book. This one in particular came from the Dollar General. I get them from a lot of different places, though. Let's see, I think... The newer pencils are always a little bit trickier because they come with almost a coating on them that you have to kind of rub off before you start seeing any color. And I caught these on sale. They're not the best quality, but they're not the worst I've ever used either. I appreciate that very much. I have done teaching of a sort in the past, but not teaching. For the most part, I work retail. And for about 20 years, I was retail management, which does include a lot of training. But I do, unfortunately, have a very limited patience, which makes me bad for teaching as a career. I'm really good with animals, but I lose patience with people after a while. I know that sounds awful, but that is the truth of it. I do lose patience with my animals on occasion, though. I'm trying very hard not to lose patience with my birds right now. But they have been testing me all day. Retail is people who work in shops, stores, um, things like that. I still work retail, but I only work part-time. I do love dogs as well. At least my... Hello, how we doing? I love my dog. Sometimes it's hard for me to have patience with other people's dogs. But that is one good thing about doing like the YouTube channel is if I start to get feeling a little bit less patient, I can walk away from the computer or the phone and take a little break. Sometimes with in regular life, that's not so much of an option. My birds are trying to see how far they can press my patience. They're trying to convince me to give them a treat, and we do not reward behaviors in this house. Poodles are phenomenal dogs. I had one many years ago. Very, very smart dogs, which is always fun. My dog is much, much larger. I have a Mastiff mix. We haven't ever had a blood test done to find out what mix he is, but the shelter called him a Mastiff mix, and that's just what we call him, because big and goofy and absolutely spoiled rotten is what he is now. He thinks he's a lap dog. 120 pounds of dog in your lap is an interesting experience, but it happens. I'm going to end up having to give in and giving these birds their millet to get them to hush, aren't I? That can definitely be an issue. My Loki is only a couple of years old. I have one senior cockatiel, and he sleeps a lot. Everybody else is pretty average in age. I am going to have to set this down and go take care of them. I will be right back. I'm not going to go far. You guys should still be able to hear me. Can I help you? Is there a reason we are screaming? Huh? Is there a reason we're hollering? Oh, you're gonna kisses now? Yeah. You're lucky you're cute. You're lucky you're cute. Will Millet help? Yeah. Does Millet help keep babies happy? And make them stop screaming at me? Right, you two. You go again. I promise I'm not completely off my rockers. Yes, I talk to my pets, especially my birds, like they can understand me. And that is because they can. The types of birds I have are on an intelligence level of about a 3 to 5 year old. So they do actually understand what we're saying to them on at least the basic level. They also throw fits on about the same scale. There we go. That should give me a little bit of peace. All right. Sorry to run off on you there. Pets are a challenge. Especially tiny toddlers with wings. But I do love my birds. They are wonderful, goofy little animals. Very big personalities shoved in teeny tiny little bodies. There we go. Gotta love some blue. Let's see. Let's try some apricot. Where do we want to stick this? It's always a good question, right? Let's see. So 10 years old for a cat is actually not too bad. It's kind of middle-aged. Like, many live a whole lot longer than that. Oh, that's an interesting shade. I'm not sure what color that's going to end up being. Oh, it's kind of an orangey tone. I like that. I love how I just like stuck it over here just in case. Well, I hope that goes well for you. It's always kind of fun to have a new project to do. That's kind of awesome. Are you doing like a diorama or a miniature, or helping actually build the building? I have been at this for a while. Actually just looked at the amount of time we've been going and okay. I'd imagine that'll look really cool when you get done with it. I love doing stuff like that myself. I'm not very good at it, but I enjoy it. I think it was Mr. Rogers actually did a whole thing on you don't have to be good at something to enjoy it. All right. Silver it is. We are slowly but surely making our way through. Zelda is mad that I didn't come take her out and bring her over with me. I just gave her Millet and hoped for the best, but she will get over it. We don't do playtime while I'm otherwise engaged because she would come and tear this completely apart. I think we're going to do this little oddball spot here. Adding a little bit of metallic is never a bad idea. And I am a big fan of silver, so I'm kind of looking for a lot of oddball spots to stick it. But I think after this circle, we're going to be done with that. Maybe we'll do this little spot that I keep overlooking. There we go. A bit more green. We don't have a crazy lot of that on here, so that'll work. Oh, I like that green up against the pink. My pencils are starting to get in my way. And I think just because we did the green in front of it, we're going to go ahead and take this little oddball bit there. It's definitely a great tone to kind of add in, isn't it? I'm over here talking with my hands behind the camera like you guys can see that. It's a thing. I do it when I'm on the phone too. I am definitely bad about talking with my hands. Which, I mean, literally my entire channel is pretty much based around these two pieces of meat right here, so I guess it kind of fits that I use them a lot. I started out a couple years ago. When I first started, I actually was on camera. And I realized very quickly the type of content that I do, it really is better to have it more focused on my hands and what my hands are doing, because that actually is where the focus needs to be. It's not that I don't want to be seen, but what I'm doing with my hands is always a lot more interesting than my face, or at least it is in my opinion. I'm very curious what this color is going to end up looking like. It's labeled very simply dark green. When it's not in the direct light, it looks almost gray. So let's see what that does. Oh, that's pretty. Okay. I am down for that. There we go. Sorry if that was noisy. My ear itched. Starting to finally run out of spots that don't have color, which is the end game plan. So I guess we're doing good, right? I am starting to do larger blocks of color, just realistically speaking. I am rapidly starting to run out of time, and I do want to completely finish. I don't like leaving a picture unfinished. I can't believe we've been at this for almost an hour. But once you get in a really good zone with something like this, it's hard not to just keep going and keep going and keep going. Let's see. How about some good old-fashioned mauve? This is good to go over top of pink because I can kind of run over the pink and it doesn't notice. I think we might do his actual, like, mouth area with this as well. It's just a nice soft color. There we go. We only have a few spots left, but I think we are going to break the hour mark today. I think we are going to keep going until we finish it, though, because we are so close to done at this point. As I said, I usually kind of try to limit them beyond an hour, but I mean, this isn't exactly a terribly long past, which we haven't actually hit the hour mark yet, so might be getting ahead of myself. I mean, we're a minute and 15 seconds away from it, but oof. I am not overly complaining. It's a nice, bright, springy green, isn't it? Thank you, thank you. My hand is getting tired. That is about the only problem I am starting to run into, is my hand is, in fact, getting tired. I'm old. I hadn't been doing this stuff for this long at a time in a while. I don't actually mind being old at this point, though. I mean, I'm not that old. I am old enough, though. I've officially hit my mid-40s, so. It was bugging me that these had no color. I felt like this kind of light, soft blue would be really good around that yellow to make it really just pop out at you. She has definitely gotten to... Interesting is a good word for it. We are a little bit wild and colorful. I would absolutely believe that. I've never been a big gamer. I do enjoy watching them. I love to watch some of the ones that don't take themselves too seriously. If it gets too serious, it gets a little bit boring. But the ones who go in just looking to play a game and have fun, it's a lot of fun to watch. Me personally, I tend to be very bad at video games. About the only game I've played for any real length of time is what my kid calls my nerd game, and that is a science game called Cells to Singularity, and it's not something I would ever really do online because it's not super exciting. At least not to anybody that is not a giant science nerd. So, here we go. I think I have one little spot of white left. And I think we're going to make it purple. We have reached the end, guys. And if you were wondering, let's see. This, well, my hand isn't big enough. This is how many colors it took to create our very, very rainbow kitty. If you've never done that before, just randomly grab colors and put them on a page. I definitely encourage people to try it. It is so much more fun than going in with this is going to be in these colors mindset. Rainbow would be a very good name for it as well. But I do have to go ahead and stop for today. I will be back on tomorrow afternoon, sometime between 3 and 4 Eastern or Central Standard Time. I was in Eastern Standard for a very long time. But until then, I will talk to you guys next time.